What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Holden has made it to Tokyo Drift, the third movie in the Fast and Furious franchise. This one takes place, I think it's the first time that the plot takes place somewhere outside of the US. The cast, I think, is new for the most part. I'm not gonna spoil it for him and get too much into the details of the differences. It definitely is the last movie before it gets a little over the top, in my opinion, as far as like the action and the craziness and the taking you out of realism. I think it's still a good movie. I remember watching it. I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I remember it being advertised, and the Fast and Furious logo was like really tiny compared to the Tokyo Drift. So I thought it was like a supplemental story. I didn't know if it was an actual full installment. It was kind of confusing. Granted, I was a lot younger too. I enjoyed it all right. I think the cars were cool. The acting was all, I mean, as good as it can get for a Fast and Furious movie. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if this is a movie you don't like. I know a lot of you, some of you liked it, some of you hated it, and you guys were excited for us to get into it. Holden knows nothing about it, but I want to see, like the other video, what he expects and if there's anything he'd like to see in this movie. So Holden, is there anything that you want to see in this movie that you didn't get to see in Too Fast, Too Furious, or is there anything that you hope they don't do in this one?
I mentioned in the previous video in Too Fast, Too Furious that I feel like I can start feeling the franchise fatigue beginning, where it's okay, we just got to go more and more and more. I can see it starting then. I'm guessing there's going to be some of that in Tokyo Drift as well. I really want to see either Dom or Dom's girlfriend come back. I really liked both of those characters. I don't know if Brian and that girl ever get back together, or if she's just done with the franchise at this point. But I really liked her. I think that she was the best female character so far, with the exception of maybe Michelle Rodriguez. I really liked her too. So I would like to see some of those original from the first one come back. I know Dom comes back at some point because I saw him in Fast 5, I think. But you know, that's what I would really like to see. As far as like all the car stuff is cool to me. I enjoy seeing it, but that's about the extent. It's like watching a Transformers movie. Like I can appreciate what I'm seeing or whatever, but it pretty much ends once the movie's over because I go back to my little GMC and move on with my life. You know, it's hard for me to like. In real life, the kind of car scene is just such a foreign thing to me. People getting like so stoked over Hondas. I don't really understand that. I don't really get that, or the craziness behind that. But at the same time, I get crazy over nerdy stuff that other people don't get crazy about. So in that way, I get it. I get being crazy about something that maybe not everybody's crazy about. I'm just enjoying the ride, pun intended, and I'm looking forward to this one. Unfortunately, the original cast still doesn't appear again until the next one. So hopefully that doesn't impede how you feel about the movie going into it. But I think you'll like it. I think there's a lot of elements of it that you'll enjoy, and the fact that it doesn't take place in the US, I think, is a big plot point in this movie, without giving too much more away. So we're gonna get right into it. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I like how in all these movies you can see the time going by. Yeah.
Hey, you talking to my girl?
Oh shit.
Where are the teachers? I love that walk. That tough guy walk.
I thought you loved me.
Go through all that and still lose. I thought you loved me.
And I don't want to see or hear about you anywhere near a car.
I'm about to turn into an anime.
Yeah.
転校生、ボズウェルか
Boswell, yes, man.
Like Michael Jordan? I love Michael Jordan.
I know. Like Mike.
Check this out. For when you blow your wad, man.
Oh, good one, Bow Wow.
Yeah. It's time to race.
There's Brian in this movie?
Let's see what the kids got.
What? Wait.
If I needed a 30-second lesson on how to drift.
The first thing I want you to do, I want you to rip that e-brake. Or after you rip the e-brake, then I want you to power on it.
Cool, I like that. Yeah. You're gonna kill these people. Oh.
Can't you go find a nice Japanese girl like the rest of the white guys around here? Swindon, huh? Is that yours?
Sure is.
Just spit in your own face. What are you doing, dude?
Say, man, what the hell is wrong with you, huh?
There's no wax on, wax off for drifting. Everybody doing it. Again.
Come on, man.
Stay away from her. Or the only thing you'll be driving is a wheelchair.
Think anyone would take a second look at you if it wasn't for your uncle?
Oh.
Hey, good.
Yeah.
I need
You say arigato like we say arigato.
Hey, brother.
I vouch for you.
My gosh. On. Oh. That's murder.
Maybe I should talk to Kamada.
I know I just didn't hit it.
I gotta end this.
Han is dead, all right? Plus, you can't just walk into Kamada's place, man. Something I think Han would have wanted you to have.
Sean.
What is she doing here? She got back together with this guy?
Yeah.
I didn't come here to see you.
Takashi, you can walk in here, dump some cash, and walk out.
I know your nephew and I embarrassed ourselves badly.
この外人の言うことを聞くんじゃねえ。
I'm here to offer you a peaceful solution. A race.
Wait, so his dad's cool with him using this now? Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah. Why are you riding around with Yakuza bosses? Oh, who are these clowns? Stop and pick them up, settle the differences, and they both cross together. I was just spitting in my own face earlier.
Hey, check this out, man. This dude over here want to race the new DK.
Not tonight, Twinkie.
Said he knew Han. Said Han was family.
Is this Dom?
All right. Let's race.
Oh, nice.
I won it from my friend Han a few years ago. You ready, kid?
We just got done watching Tokyo Drift. Now, I gotta say, this movie, I don't know about Holden, but for me, it drug on a little bit. I think when it first came out, I was just so into the Fast and Furious culture and the whole thing that I just didn't care. Going into it, I didn't know if it was gonna, be completely different, because like I said in the beginning of this video, the font being super tiny, it's almost like nowadays in present time, Hobbs and Shaw, or the Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw kind of thing. I thought that's what this was going for. I'm glad it wasn't. It was just another movie about racing and just took place in Japan. The characters were okay. I think that the female character, Nelia, I can't remember her name, she was kind of meh, like didn't really fit the role. She had a little bit of a Jordana Brewster moment where she was driving her powder blue car. The whole chemistry just wasn't there for me. Bow Wow, I mean, I get they were trying to put a rapper in each movie, and it just so happens that in the first 3 movies, it's 3 different rappers. I think he was the weakest of all of them, even though you saw him throughout the runtime. I didn't really care for his character, but the movie was all right. My favorite part was the end, obviously, because of Dom coming in. It was really hard to hold that back from Holden. Yeah, that's what made it for me. That's what tied it all together. Of course, Han was really, you learn more about Han later on, but I think it was okay overall. Holden, what did you think?
Yeah, I feel like this falls exactly into the Hobbs and Shaw sort of thing. It feels like it's its own movie. It's not connected except for Dom at the end. I was waiting for like Brian, Paul Walker's character, to like come in near the in the first or second act and being like, "Hey, I know that you're a driver. We need you for this mission or whatever that we're doing." Because it wasn't really connected. It just felt like we just randomly watched Need for Speed or just some other random racing movie, and they just happened to throw in Dom at the end. That being said, I thought it was okay. They really focused on the drifting, that was like their thing, That's kind of my feeling towards this. I really like Han though. I keep touching something. What is I really liked Han a lot, and I guess I thought I remember him being in 5, because I have seen 5. Oh yeah, because he's actually teaching them to drift around the cameras or something. Yeah, I remember that scene. So I don't know how he survived this, and I guess Matt's right that they don't stay dead. I thought the main guy was okay. The only thing I really know him from was Jackie Robinson's baseball teammate from 42. He puts his arm around Chadwick Boseman and is like, I want my whole family's up there. I want them to know what I stand for, as if he's no longer racist in the movie. So he came around. That's the only thing I've ever seen him in or know him from, but he did a good job, I guess. I think so far this is probably the weakest of the... Well, I don't know. I'd say it's probably there with the second one. This doesn't feel like Fast and Furious 3. It feels like Hobbs and Shaw. It's just kind of its own thing. So I'd be curious to see what the 4th one is going to be like. Hopefully they bring back the main crew. I don't remember seeing this guy ever again in any of the other movies, so I don't know what the deal with that is. That's where I'm at with this.
Yeah, I remember when the movie came out, I thought this was the end of the franchise. I remember going in and watching it, seeing that there was no Brian, there was no Dom, and I was like, well, maybe they're just done with it. I don't remember. I know you asked Holden at one point why Dom wasn't in it or why Brian wasn't in it. And I think that had something to do with either scheduling, the kind of the norm with Hollywood, but there may or may not have been arguments that have been since squashed. I don't know. Let me know in the comments to refresh my memory in that regard. I remember it turning me off really bad when this movie came out because I didn't know that it was like eventually going to be tied together. I know that going into it, Holden knows Han from the other movies, and at one point you were like, I don't get it. Did he live? Did he die? And it's kind of hard to like say it without, when you go into certain franchises, you can treat them as prequels, but this one, it's like, it's confusing if you do it that way. So overall, it was all right. I think the cars look great. They used the same cars over and over again. Like there was an Evo in this one. There was a RX-7 in this one. There was probably a Charger somewhere lingering around this one. So the cars were kind of the same, just different paint jobs. The women, same thing. It's like, that's not what I like these movies. I was telling Holden that I didn't really identify with the demographic or the culture as much as just getting behind the wheel of a standard stick shift car and just having fun driving that as opposed to an automatic. That's what draws me to these movies, and the fact that I like Vin Diesel as an actor. It's watchable, and I think we've agreed on this series and in the My Friend Watches series that a 5 is passing because it's the middle of the ground. That's where I sit with this one. I don't think it's a terrible movie. There's some funny one-liners, not as many as the other one, but I think a 5 is a fair rating for this movie because of Han and the ending, really, for me. Holden, what would you give Tokyo Drift?
Overall, I would say it's watchable. It's got similar issues I have with all these movies, like why is the high school girl that he just happened to be interested in at the beginning in so deep with the racing community, knowing how to drive and drift, and then like standing there with the Yakuza mafia boss, like why? Like I don't know. It's just way too coincidental, I think. I think it's lazy writing, personally. I like the main guy. He's okay. I just know that he's not really in anything else. So I don't know, like I'm not too attached to him. I was disappointed. I literally sat down thinking we were going to be seeing Brian at least come in and being a part of it. So the fact that it's kind of its own thing with the Fast and Furious title kind of is annoying, unless they were going for an anthology type thing, which they're not. Clearly they didn't. So it's hard for me to kind of rank this with the others. In terms of it just being like a driving movie, it was okay. I would probably give this probably about a 5.5, I would say. Han was probably the highlight. I really liked his character. I thought the actor did a great job. The main kid. Oh, another thing I didn't really like was the whole relationship between him and Dad, and how he's like, "You need to stop racing, son." And then they have one confrontation outside as a result of the kids racing, and then he's like cool with him taking the car he's been working on to go race with it. It was just as inconsistent in that way, I felt. So for me, about 5.5.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, just hearing you talk about not knowing if it was supposed to be an anthology or not, if I remember correctly, this movie takes place at the exact same time as the second one, just in Miami, and this is happening in Tokyo, which is, I think that was the thought process behind not having any characters directly linked to it. I could be wrong. Again, those of you who are bigger fans of the franchise than myself, please let me know in the comments below. I think that's the whole reasoning why he wasn't, any of the characters like Brian or Dom or even Roman weren't in this movie. But that's gonna do it for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you guys have been talking about, a lot of you in the comments of the first one, this being your favorite in the franchise, and hoping and waiting for us to get to it. Well, there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be watching the fourth one, which I believe is called Fast and Furious, not to confuse it with The Fast and The Furious. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they chose to do. That's the fourth movie. That is the last movie Holden hasn't seen in the franchise, including Hobbs and Shaw and everything that came after it. The next installment, which is Fast and Furious, I think he's gonna like it. I'm not gonna show him the DVD cover because that'll give away a lot, believe it or not, on that. You guys know that have seen it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I want to thank all of the patrons who helped with the channel, everyone who supports that way. Their names are scrolling right about here, right around now. These guys are responsible for everything that the channel gets as far as direct support and just, you know, supporting us for making videos, you know, and without them, a lot of it wouldn't be possible. So if you want to be a patron and support the channel, go to the link below. It'll take you straight to Patreon. I have several different tiers that you get. You get to be on Discord channels. You get to see videos early. You get to enter raffles. I will be raffling off stuff. I do it every month, and it's always something different. Sometimes it's a stack of comic books. Sometimes it's you know, figurines, something I draw. I just got a 3D printer, and I'm gonna be raffling off 3D printed minis. I think that'd be fun and cool. So if you want to be a part of that, join the Patreon. Thank you so much. Remember to like, share, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.